Welcome to SLP TV, Thoughts on Life, Episode 3. Or is it Episode 4? Losing track. It is 1:41 a.m., June 3rd. I go back to work today. I can't help thinking about what's been going on. Too much has been going on. I can only think about the few words that I have, like justice, racism, and judging or judgmental. Now, a lot of other words have been thrown around, some of them not too nice. Yes, there is an unequal bias against black people. But is it all racism or is it all judgmental? Judgment. As humans, we're naturally judgmental. You go to buy a product in a store, you're judging whether you like the way that product looks, what that product has in it, if it's something that you're eating, what it can do for you. Now, obviously, the first impressions are what it looks like. We do the same to other humans. You see, let's say, a woman walking down the street in some what we call booty shorts. Well, the first thing you think, she must be a hooker. A lot of people do. A lot of people think that way. See a black man in a hoodie walking through a neighborhood, first thing you think is he's there to rob, or he just finished robbing somebody. Being judgmental does have its place in racism, especially when you start talking about human beings. Is it wrong? Yes. Does everybody do it? You bet your ass. I guarantee you, everyone has thoughts in their mind of racism. Doesn't matter what level it's on. If you're judging someone by their color or the way they look, it's racism. You can preach up and down all you want. I'm not racist, I'm not racist. But you have to think back to the original thought. Judging. We all judge. It's not only a human factor, it's an animal factor. Any living sentient being, to include, like wolves, bears, foxes, everything is judged. But humans were the only ones that put a word to it of racism when it comes to human beings. We all judge. Everyone's guilty of it. It's what you do with those actions, with those thoughts, the actions that you put into those thoughts makes all the difference, though. I have judged everyone in my life. Before you even talk to somebody, you're already judging them on their looks, the sound, the way they talk, the way they move, their actions. Now here's the question. Is being judgmental in your mind and being judgmental out loud, can it both be called racism? Because remember, racism is something that somebody calls when they see somebody else doing something to another person. Can you be called racist just by your thoughts? Because if you could, well, you'd have to be the one calling yourself racist, because you're the only one who knows your thoughts. Unless, of course, you act on them. No one truly knows your thoughts until you say something about it, or you act upon your thoughts. Once you do either of those things, that's when the humans around you will judge you. Like I said, we all judge no matter who we are. Christians, you think Christians don't judge? Come on, that's one of the biggest things that they do. How do you think they determine sin? They judge your actions. Pentecostal, if I get this right, famous for not wearing makeup, trying not to show any skin. If the girl that we talked about before walked around them in the booty shorts, you think they're not looking at her and judging her? I don't care who you are, what religion you claim to be. You are judging people. I don't care if somebody says, I don't judge. That's a false statement. Humans by nature judge. That's how we get through life. That's how we survive. Unfortunately, some of the things that we do from some of our judging has effects that affect other people. We act on our judgments, no matter how bad they are, and it's detrimental to life. Now, I can sit here and tell you all day that I'm not a racist. I can tell you all day that I don't judge anybody by their skin color. Would I be telling a lie? Yes. In my own mind, would I be thinking I'm telling a lie? No. Because we don't think about that fact that everybody judges. Where does being a judge, judging people, and being a racist begin? I don't know. You'd have to ask yourselves. Ask a scholar. I don't know. Ask a poet. These things are hard to determine. But racism has, does, and always will exist. It is our actions that we take upon our judgments that define how that racism is going to affect others. Now, I'm not a religious person, but all the stories and the teachings, they do serve purpose. Is everybody going to listen to those teachings and the purpose of those teachings? No. A lot of people pretend to do that. They say, I follow the preachings of Christ. I follow the rules and laws of God. I don't know a single human personally that can actually attest to that, even on the smallest level. But again, we are human. And whether we choose to believe in spiritual beings or not, we still have a moral obligation, I would say, to treat each other correctly. Now, once someone is in handcuffs and on the ground, should a knee be put in that person's neck? No, absolutely not. We were taught in the military not to put knees anywhere on the body. You just don't do it, especially when the person is already handcuffed, zip-tied, or flexi-cuffed. You have 4 officers there. You know what I'm talking about. All you have to do is put hands on and just maintain control. The knee does not have to go in the back. A knee does not have to go in the neck. You already have the person secured. The only purpose that I can see to having a knee in someone's neck for over 8 minutes is laziness or hatred, which usually stems from racism. Is racism ever going to be abolished? No, because you cannot change the instincts and the behaviors and the thoughts of human beings. Human beings and animals have our thoughts and behaviors mostly instinctive. You cannot change those. What you can change is the actions through teaching, through learning. Now, is that still going to do anything? I don't know. It depends on who you're teaching and how well they're taking it. Some people will be racist no matter what you try to tell them or teach them. Racism is always going to be there. Even in the best human in the world, there is judgmentalism. There is the act of being a judge, even if it's in their own mind. And yes, that includes visual. You cannot look at someone else of another color, even of your own color, and tell them they're not allowed to judge them by the way they look. It is inherent. It is instinctive. It is built into our DNA. We judge. And visual is usually the first thing. Usually. So, saying that racism is going to end is just unrealistic. Racism is never going to end. And as far as protesting over it, I'm fully for people protesting peacefully. Those individuals, whether they're infiltrating the protest or they're part of the protest, that decide they're going to hurt someone, they're going to destroy property that's not theirs, destroy a business, destroy a vehicle, and in some cases laughing about it. This is what I say to you. You are a lowlife. And you are not helping the message get out there. You are not helping to teach. You are not helping to calm racism, because it's never going to be abolished. Racism, like I said, is always going to be there. Stop looting. Stop destroying. Stop being a lowlife. Now, protesters, peaceful protesters, keep doing what you're doing. Make your voices heard. And lowlives that want to loot, steal, rob, destroy, you're going to get what you're going to get. If you came to my home threatening that, you might not make it out of town alive. So, you're putting that out there. You're making that decision for yourself. And there are going to be people that are going to defend against it. Don't be that one idiot that decides, hey, maybe it'll be fun to burn this car. Something's going to happen to you one day, and it ain't going to be pretty. And it'll be because of your decisions. Your decisions will set your life or your death in motion. That's up to you. Racism, along with stupidity, is never going to be completely wiped out. But we can educate. Those that can educate can help the human race move forward. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the matter. I hope you take what I've said with a grain of salt. This is the life we have. This is the life we live. And we are the authors of our own lives. What we do sets the stage for what happens in the future. Stop being racism. Stop the racist activities. Treat everyone as equals. And I'll see you guys on the next broadcast.